What's up guys, today we're in Kingston, just on the outskirts of London, and today I'm going to show you what types of food you can eat when you're on the move. So if you don't have any meals prepared, if you're traveling, whatever the reason might be, if you're not having your food on you, I'm going to show you what kind of foods you can eat and what I would do if I was faced in that situation. Right, so in an ideal situation, you would get yourself to a big supermarket. In the UK, you've got places like Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Morrison's, Asda, places like that. I don't know what it's like in the States. I know there's a lot of my viewers who are watching from America right now. I don't know what the situation is over there, but if I was on the move, I'd get myself in there because they have a hell of a lot of fresh meats, ready to eat, fish, healthy carbs and fats. Here we go, just grabbed a few things. Got some salmon here, ready to eat. Mackerel, ready to eat. Smoked salmon, if you like it. Prawns, again, ready to eat. And some more salmon flakes. Now we're talking, now we are talking. Chicken breast. Chicken pieces without the skin. So yeah, I would recommend staying away from the pasta, staying away from the sandwiches because the nutritional content of them is not great and you're not going to get much protein in them. Supermarkets are usually notoriously stingy when it comes to putting protein in some of their foods. Right, let's pause for a second, okay? First of all, I can't tell you exactly what you should be consuming because everyone's different and their requirements in terms of their calorie intake and macro breakdown will vary based on a number of factors such as their daily activity. Are they going to be walking around all day or are they sat at a desk all day? Are they going to be training? Are they going to be doing any weightlifting? Or are they going to be doing any cardio? Or is it going to be a rest day? Okay. How old are they? What is their metabolism like? Are they going through a bulking phase, looking to grow? Or are they looking to go through a cutting phase and they're watching their weight? Okay. There's some factors which do stand out and things that I can tell you. So number one, if you're bulking and growing, you need to ensure that you're consuming enough calories. If you're cutting, you need to make sure that you don't over-consume calories. So let's take me for example. Let's say it's a rest day for me, I'm traveling, I'm on the move, I've not prepared any food. What should my requirements be? I'm going to be aiming to consume around 2,250 calories to 2,500 calories. It's a rest day, I'm not going to be training, so I'm going to drop my carb intake to around between 100 and 150. My fat intake is going to be a little bit higher, maybe 75 to 100 grams, and my protein intake is going to be around 200 to 220 because I'm around 95 kilograms at the current point in time. Now, if we go back to what you're going to be consuming throughout the day, if there are no supermarkets nearby, then things are going to get a little bit more complicated. You're going to have to consume your food out and about on the move from restaurants or coffee shops or whatever it might be. My general advice to you would be to stay away from fast food places. No. Even coffee shops aren't the best sources of nutrition. They often sell a lot of sandwiches which are not the best in terms of their macros. They tend to be quite high in carbs, fats, and the protein intake is generally quite low. Independent coffee shops or fast food cafes which place an emphasis on health and longevity tend to be the better options to go for. They'll often have a wider variety of food sources to choose from which are healthier and tend to have higher amounts of protein in. They'll often do good substitutes for those who are vegans or vegetarians. Most of the time I'll get a smoothie or some kind of shake which is comprised of fruits and vegetables, and if you're lucky they'll often serve additional protein as well in the form of protein powder. Now obviously a shake or a smoothie is not going to cut it for the rest of the day. I need some real food, and what I'm going to be looking for on a typical high street or wherever I might be will be foods which are generally highly unprocessed, okay? Foods which are higher in proteins, healthy fats or carbs. I'm probably going to go for higher carbs if I've been training that day. If I've been resting, I'm going to go for the lower carb option. If you're lucky, some restaurants actually show the calorie breakdown of every single meal and food option on their menu, which is great if you want to keep a track of everything. In an ideal world, there'll be restaurants which serve fresh, healthy meats and fish. So the place I went to called Roosters, which is very similar to Nando's, but I'd probably say it's better. They do a lot of fresh chicken and vegetables and pretty much everything you want. What I ordered was half a chicken with the skin on, and I got the vegetable and salad side. So I've ordered something like this. I'm keeping it low carb because on a typical day when I'm on the move, I'm probably not going to be training. So we basically got chicken, gonna have the skin on, feeling a bit naughty, got salad and some vegetables, and that's pretty much it. I'm trying to eat something which is in its natural state, not something that's been heavily processed, because that is what my body wants. Okay, so if you're fortunate enough to come across a place like this when you're on the move, then go for it. So when it comes to myself, I tend to drop my calories a little bit on a rest day, lower than usual. I consume more on a training day. I also drop my carbs. So in this situation, I'd wake up in the morning, I'd have lots of water, I'd go out and about, I'd probably fast throughout the morning because I'm on the move, I'm keeping busy. I'd have a coffee, a black coffee, no sugar, no milk, no nothing else. I would break the fast with some chicken and some nuts. Later on in the day for meal 2, I would combine the salmon and the prawns with a salad. If I get peckish later on in the day, I've got a banana, these Toffee Triumph protein energy balls, a small pack of honey roast ham, and maybe a naked bar. And at the end of the day, I'd go to that restaurant and have half a chicken with the vegetables and the salad. The juice, which I had earlier on in the day, could be anywhere between 150 to 200 calories. I did go for the lowest calorie option. So if they tell you what the calorie content is, that's great, but I'm estimating that it is around 150 to 200. Now, when it comes to tracking calories, it's not something you have to do. Not everyone has to do it. If you're making progress, you could just have a day off and, eat what you want, okay, within reason. But when it comes to me, and if I'm in the zone when it comes to tracking my calories and the progress which I'm making, I like to track everything I'm doing. I feel like I'm in a lot more control when I know what I'm eating and what my calorie intake and breakdown has been for the day. So what I would do is the foods which I would buy on a regular basis, I would just enter them manually into a spreadsheet which I created on Excel. Now I've recently created a new app which you can log in all the foods which you consume. So what I would do, if I've got the time, and obviously I've got the added benefit of being able to use this on my phone, I would add up all the foods which I've currently consumed that day. Because I consume quite a lot of these foods on a regular basis on my weekly grocery shop, all the data is already in there. If you want to check out this app, I highly suggest you check out my website where you'll be able to get access to it. So there we go. I hope I've given you a few ideas of what you could consume when you're out and about on the move and you haven't meal prepped. There are ways to get about it if you haven't done it, although when I add up everything which I spent on that day and everything which I consumed, I ended up spending around £30 or so, maybe a little bit more. And if I prepped all my meals, I would have spent about a third of that. So meal prepping usually is the way forward, but I understand it might not be the case that you can do that every single day. I know when I'm traveling, I'm on the move, or I'm in a different country, these supermarkets just don't exist. Okay, it's not always as simple as what I've shown you in this video. So if you like this video, you want to see more, make sure you check out all the other videos which I've got up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon.